All right, there you go. Take it
There we
away,
go.
Kara.
Boom. So my name is Kara, and on these calls, we do all things social media. So I've been running accounts on social media since 2017, made my clients a lot of money. And some of you guys know my clients. You guys, we were just talking about Christian Moore too. So that's one of my clients. And I love working with him because he kills it. And we actually jam out together every Tuesday and go over his account and do his stuff. And a lot of fun. So it's my favorite thing to do is come up with content ideas. So today's funny that we mentioned that. Last week, we did an overview of the 8-week course and what were the biggest takeaways. But what kind of sparked that was somebody was like, I don't know how to come up with content ideas. So today I'm going to give you guys a few more hacks on how to do a whole bunch of really cool websites, how to do some searches. We want to apply the lazy method, not go through the content roadmap. I have some resources for you today. So it's cool with y'all. We can get that party started. All right. All right, so welcome to the DYIC social media find content ideas call. So content ideas. This is often, I don't know what to post, where to post, what to do. And sometimes coming up with content isn't the easiest thing all the time, I will admit. I've given you guys some tips and tricks in the past before. But as I mentioned, all of your content always should be towards 4 ideal clients, right? Retirees, first-time home buyers, millennials selling their house for the very first time. Try to think of putting your people into a box, because the more that you understand what keeps them up at night, the easier your job will be here. But more importantly, people will actually engage with your content, right? So that's why if we can wrap our arms around our people and tell them it's going to be okay, that's where they can see you as the authority. So start there. Before you even go down this road of what do I post, you have to first understand who it is that I'm marketing to. Step number 1, we've already talked about this ad nauseum, is the content roadmap. Okay, class number 3, the DYIC group. If you do hashtag DYIC in the Facebook group, and you search content roadmap, you'll see that there was an entire hour-long session where we went through a spreadsheet and we covered it briefly last week. So I would say start there because that's a good spot. The next place here is title generator. So title generator, I've shown you guys in the past before. It has the ability to take in a subject and find exactly, just find it here, there we go. Find exactly some ideas for you. So it's not like this isn't, the best. It's to get some ideas going, okay? It also can help you establish some good solid hooks. So let's say you want to talk about investors, right? We pop in the word investor and we hit submit. And then by going here, it's going to separate it out based on things like love, based on things like lists, based on things of like best of. But you can start to hear that it's going to start giving out some ideas. So investing doesn't have to be hard. Here, read these 6 tips, or master the art of investors with these 6 tips. So these are all could make some good openings. These can also make a really good subject line. But this is actually a tool that we use at the agency when we're feeling not so creative for the day. So somebody give me another. We're going to be really interactive today, guys. And if you just came in here to hang out, sorry. Give me a subject. Let's hear a subject. We're going to pop it in. We're going to find some good. Give me a subject that you want to make some content on, because today you can get some free work out of me.
Rates, interest rates.
Ooh, good one. All right. See, this is where it gets silly. Knowing these 9 secrets will make your interest rates look amazing. But this can start to bring out some other ideas. Knowing these 9 secrets could lower your interest rates, or knowing these 9 secrets could lower your interest payments. So that's where it can start to do some things. The A to Z of interest rates. What else we got here? How to save $1,000 with your interest rates. Are interest rates a scam? Yes. Kids love interest rates, not really, but things like right away, what your parents never told you about interest rates. So you can start to see that this really starts to build out some interesting things. So I have a few other different resources here today, but this is one that I really do love to use. All right. Number 2 is TikTok. And for this one, I'm going to actually join with I'm going to join with my cell phone so you can see my screen. While I'm doing that, does anybody, do we have a question here? Tom says downsizing. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll go back there and we'll go up here and see if we can just come up with it. And then I'm going to join with my phone because we're going to look at TikTok because I love using TikTok for coming up with ideas. I'm going to show you exactly how I do that on TikTok. I'm not sharing my screen anymore, and that would probably help. All right. Master the art of downsizing with these 8 tips. It could be how to buy a home, downsizing, how to buy on downsizing on a shoestring, how to buy a home while you're downsizing on a shoestring budget. What secrets? I like secrets one. Downsizing secrets revealed. So it's good. It's a little bit kitschy, but you get the point. So as I mentioned now, I'm just going to take 2 seconds. If anybody has any questions, now would be the time to pop them in. But I'm going to join with my cell phone, and I'm going to show you how you can go into the search bar, apply a couple.
You literally could use that. Sorry, I was going to interrupt here for somebody. You literally could use that site in 15 minutes. You could probably come up with 20 pieces of content.
So easy.
Like it's so simple, right? At least the idea of what you're going to put. And as a real estate agent, I mean, the assumption is that you're an expert, right? So it should be really easy to talk about some of these subjects. And if you're creating content that is like for, shorts and reels and stories, you don't have to talk for 10 minutes about this stuff, right? Or even for TikTok, right? Like you're talking for literally in some cases as little as 30 seconds or a minute. So it makes it really, really easy.
What's the site again, Shane?
So let me just pop it in the chat here for you because I like to Control D, and that will save it as a bookmark in the chat there for you. Okay, just hang tight here for me there, guys. I'm just gonna launch with my cell phone. If you see me bopping my head, I can't help it. They play lots of music in here, and I know you probably can't hear it, but I'm not crazy, I promise you. All right, we'll turn the video off because you don't need to look up my nostrils. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into TikTok and we're going to use the search features. TikTok, where'd you go, TikTok? Here on me. I swear my iPhone likes to just rearrange itself on a daily basis.
Oh, you both hate each other.
Okay, so you can see here, I already started to do it up here at the top here. We come in here and let's say we want to go first-time home buyers is the subject that we want to do. The up in the right-hand corner of my screen is the 2 little lines. Hit that. That's your filters. So you can do a few things here. You can look at most liked videos. You can look at when it was posted. I like to do in the last 3 months. Okay. And then I look at most liked as well, because this starts to give me an idea of what's already won within the algorithm. And then hit apply. Oh, look who's at top. Look at that. Mr. Christian Mortuzo, you famous man. That's cool. All right. And then, oh, who's that? Realtor Beverly. Okay. I think this is my most liked. I think that's what we got going on here, but it should be by videos. All right. Okay. So here we've got first time home buyer content that's being sorted for us. And then you want to go through and just start to get some ideas. Pretty simple. The reason why you want to do it like this on TikTok is that we're trying to see what's already working. Yes, you should be making content that you want to make that you think is going to resonate with your audience the most, but this is going to move you real fast, especially when coming up with short form video content on what works well. So I would just spend time coming in here.
Or fix up your home. Don't overdo it. A lot of times our emotions will take over us and we want to fix up our
and I'm just going to scroll through.
700.
And I'm going to pay attention to a few things here, guys. I'm looking at the very top. What did they make as a caption? I'm looking at like the middle captions of what they used. I want to go over, go back there. Oh, I want to know. I want to see The caption.
and
Come on, TikTok.
$50,000 house
we go.
first. Instead,
Okay, and I'm looking at what she used as a caption. In my opinion, that is way too many hashtags. Try not to 3 to 5. I come over here to the comments, check out to see what the comments and what are people saying, because this will also start to build out more ideas for you. This is something I love doing on YouTube as well. As I go to some of the top graders and I look at the questions, the comments that come in, and I can see what other people are asking, because it's an indicator here of opportunities for more content. So come in here, check out all the different comments that are on here. I pay attention to like how many looks it got. Pay attention to the right hand to see like, did they use a song on here? Was it a trending sound? You can see here on the right hand side, 822 people favorited this. So see where it's got the little tag here, I'll press it and it'll go highlight. Where it just went yellow, that's somebody favoriting that, so they can come back and look at it later. That's a huge indicator to the algorithm that this is a really good piece of content, because people want to come back and watch it later. So pay attention to all of these different things when you're doing it. So I just come in here and I start scrolling around. I'll have a little notepad, pen and paper, and I'll mark this all down. I do also like to favorite them myself. When there's a video here that I want to emulate or I want to take something from, I will save that video.
Contact your bank or a mortgage broker. Hi, I'm looking to get pre-approved for a mortgage and I have no idea where to start. Oh, okay. Step 2, once you know what you can afford and you've chosen a realtor that you want to work with, you get to start shopping. That's the fun part. Get in, loser, if we're going shopping. Step 3, once you find a home that you
Okay, so the whole point of this is like, I'm paying attention to, again, the captions that she's putting on there. I've noticed that now we've now seen 3 separate scenes. We've also seen her play like a different character, and she's paying like 2 different people. And then again, we're coming in, checking out the various comments of what people are putting in there. What other questions are they making so that I can make more content out of that? Paying attention to this one, 2,232 people has saved this. She got over 14,000 likes. That's a pretty good video. So do this process, go through. We can look at another subject here. We can do like first, we can do Airbnb investor. And this is another really big niche on TikTok. Okay, put it on your filters. So I like to do 3 months. And then you could do most watched videos, liked videos, hit apply.
Airbnb investment business is that you can literally turn anything into an income producing machine. This unit was just left on our property and we're going to convert this into a 2-bedroom, 1-bath Airbnb. Now this is nuts. I did not expect to have a container home sitting on our property. This is currently being used as storage. We're going to turn this into over 6.
So the way that I want you to move through this process is like, as I'm looking at this and I think of like my clients who have like an upcoming week, and maybe you're not in the Airbnb space, but maybe you have a listing that's coming up. You just like walking up to the exterior shot of the house, explaining how you came up with the evaluation, what makes it such a special property, how you're going to market that property. You're making this piece of content to showcase you as the expert. But start to do this process so that when you think of what your upcoming week is, what are some of the shots, what are some of the things that you want to achieve as you're going through? Any questions on using TikTok? Let's see, Tom says, is there a way to group the different people or topics you are following on TikTok? Yes, well, yes, there is, Tom. Well, yes, there is. All right, let's go to, I don't do it because like I should. I'm a very organized person. This is like one of the things that have been bugging me for a long time. Okay, here's the main profile. And then if you go over to the right here under saves. Okay, maybe I lied. I've done it a little bit. See where it says videos 427, collections 2, sounds 144, effects 4. This is where you can create various different folders. So you can have folders for like trending sounds. You can have folders for when somebody did a really great walkthrough, folders for tips and tricks for filming, folders for various creators that you follow. Unfortunately, you can't take like creators and put them into a bucket automatically, but as you save things, you can create various collections so that you can sort through it really easily and come back and find it later on. Does that answer your question, Tom? I'm gonna assume yes.
I have a quick question about TikTok.
Yeah.
I have a great little video that I made, but it's not related directly to real estate. And I have the music for it and everything. And I'm just wondering, do you ever put like personal stuff on your TikTok as well as all business?
Great question. So your personal stuff on TikTok, and when it's just personal about you, and it really only matters to you, I do believe that yes, you should showcase your personality, but it really should be like 10% of your content. Unless it matters to your audience. So for example, and I've used this as an example before, Christian Mertuz was like, he's really into collecting shoes and like luxury shoes and luxury cars. But so are his clients, because that's the type of client and avatar of whom that he serves. So when he makes a piece of content like that, it matters to his audience. But let's say like you're like really into purple shirts. So I'm just making like a random example. Your audience should also be into purple shirts if you wanted to make content about purple shirts. Like I've had women, like I remember this one woman came on one of my TikTok webinars and she was like the Jeep. She was like known as like the Jeep girl. And I was like, well, if like your clients also buy lots of Jeeps and are also into driving Jeeps around the weekends, then that's great content to post. But if they're not, that's really something that's about you. And the whole point of what makes TikTok so powerful is that the content is constantly being pushed out to people who have no idea who you are. They've never met you before. And it allows you to blow up an account overnight. And when you're constantly positioning to what they care about, what they want, that's how we create content that wins. So I would go back to that piece of content, Vicky, and kind of move through that exercise. Like, is this serving my audience or is this serving my own likes? And if you want to create content for your own being, like I say, bravo, like do it, just create a different account because you don't want to confuse the algorithm, but what your profile is all about.
Well, it's very much about who I am. It's one of my 3 passions. And I thought maybe I could do a TikTok video on, the fact that I'm a realtor or whatever. And I have 3 passions, and they are, my family, my business, and my horses. And this is me riding my horse, but I did it at night and there was a fantastic shadow that it cast. So I took a video of the front of my horse as I was on them, and then the shadow, and then putting it to music of, you in my shadow. And I thought that I could use it. Maybe not the first TikTok I ever do, but
it sounds like a great video.
A lot of my, I'm focusing on downsizing, but a lot of a huge following that I have on Facebook and whatever, and even Instagram right now is a lot of horse people. So, but they all live in houses and sell and whatever too. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I say it's not a bad, like it's great. I love that you've gone and done that. And I think it's great to continue to create things about you. And we do want the audience to connect with us. But what my advice would you to be is get 10 great TikToks up that focus on your avatar first. Then we post that. So focus on 10% of your content about you. The other 90% should be positioning you as the authority that can fix all of their problems.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Roxana says, which account do you recommend for realtors, creator, or business? So there's business and there's personal on TikTok. And then there's creators, business, and personal on Instagram. I recommend on Instagram that you go with creator. On TikTok, I recommend one of 2 ways. I like business because it gives you the ability to have this clickable link before you need to have 1,000 followers. If you're on personal, you have to have 1,000 followers before you can have the clickable link. The downsides for personal are you cannot pre-schedule the content. So TikTok has a native scheduler that you can use, and you also can't use any of the software tools out there that allow to schedule for you. You'd have to switch to business. Now, the downside for business is that you no longer have access to a lot of the trending sounds. So I flip-flop back and forth all the time because I have people who help run the account and get the stuff up there. But I often will find sounds that I now want to use that are considered commercial. So I flip it back and forth from personal to commercial all the time. So it's kind of a personal choice. What I will say is that having the clickable link is pretty important for collecting leads because it's really easy to get people to come over. what you want to have, one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you is that clickable link really shouldn't go to your website. It really should go to a dedicated landing page. It's very good at grabbing somebody's name, email, and phone number, and that you should be giving something there that they can consume in a timely manner, like under 20 minutes, that gets them a result. So we've talked about this before, but when we speak on what your avatar is, once we understand who they are, we can create little downloadable guides on places like Canva where they can download something. So for example, if you work with investors, a downloadable guide on the best Airbnb properties, the best neighborhoods in Toronto to purchase your first Airbnb property would be a great guide. You could also keep it really simple. You could come up with a list of houses under 500,000 that have a pool, like if you're in Florida. So think about what your avatar wants, and that link should go to a dedicated landing page. And the only thing they can do, no navigation, no menus, nowhere else. All it does is collect somebody's name, email, and phone number. Larry says, that's why I stick with personal so I can use any sound. Yeah. So like a lot of the songs, like the trending songs, like are considered like non-commercial use. There are still quite a few trends, like funny sounds, like trends that you can use that you can get away with, but I flip-flop back all the time. Great question. Great questions. All right, let me stop sharing my phone. Go back to some other resources for you guys here. All right, we went over title generator, Notepad. This one seems kind of obvious, but maybe not so obvious. I have a notepad on my phone that I'm always putting down ideas. So when I'm at the gym and I'm like slaving away on the Stairmaster and something funny will come up in my head, I write it down. And you might think that like I'll just remember it later on. I promise you, you won't. So whenever you have an idea, write it down. When somebody asks you a question in the grocery store, write it down. When somebody asks you an objection in a listing appointment, write it down. When you call back a lead and they didn't understand something about your process, write it down, because these things often seem so obvious to you. Why would somebody not know that they need to get pre-approved before they start shopping for houses? Like, duh. Well, like, sorry. A lot of people just don't know this. Or if there's a funny way of which you can present that information, perhaps in a better way. Like instead of how you sell your house, and then you think of like a horror story about selling a house with somebody. You can open it up with that horror story line and then talk about the ways in which you really should sell the house. But a notepad on your phone is key. You should all go into your phone like right now at this second, open up a notes, call it my content ideas. And then I just write all those content ideas down. And then when you go through the process that I teach you guys, which is once a month, we come up with the subjects and the hooks that we're going to use. You go back to that notepad to come up with your ideas. So it seems obvious, but I had to put it in there. All right, this one's really cool. This one's like one of my favorites. Let's see. Larry says, I do that and make sure it's a button link. Ooh, yeah, nice, Larry. So Larry makes it right from his home screen, so it's easily accessed. So I love that. Cool. So let's go answer the public. So this one, what this does is it takes in your subject and takes in all the times that people are coming online onto Google and typing it in. So it'll take your subject and give you all different kinds of new ideas. You absolutely do not need to upgrade. The free version of this works really well. So let's hear from the crowd. Let's take in a subject and let's start looking at some subjects for you. So who's got something that we want to use here?
Downsizing?
Downsizing. Thank you, Vicky. Downsizing.
What site are you on? Sorry.
So that's okay. So I'll put this in the chat here for you. So this is called Answer the Public. Throw this in the chat. Where did you go, chat? There you are. So I would also Control D that bad boy, save it. Okay. And then we come to this wonderful massive graph. So a couple of things here going. There, you can separate out the data by questions, prepositions, comparisons. You can sort it into alphabetical. You can also download a CSV version to get everything in here. But the way that this works is it's color coded from most amount of people to least amount of people searching for that. So let's look at. Downsizing can be as stressful as the survivor as for victims. Interesting. Downsizing can be used to reduce surplus. Downsizing can be defined as. Downsizing can be described as. So this is what people are actually coming in and they're typing in. And if you can see my screen here where it goes green, strong to least colored green, this is like the amount of people. So it becomes less and less as we go through. How downsizing seniors, how downsizing changed my life. Ooh, Vicky, I think that's a good one. I think you should
I
write
love
that
it.
one down. Yeah. How downsizing affect organizational structure. That's about employees. Are downsizing strategies successful? We are downsizing. Let's look at some more here. So they do, just notice here, it's like what, where, when, which, well, who, how, are, can. So where, downsizing. Downsizing, where to start.
This thing is amazing.
Yeah, that's the kind of reaction I love. Downsizing, what to do with stuff, like that one. Downsizing when we retire. When downsizing, what should I keep? Ooh, that's another good one, Vicky. All right, let's keep going. Let's do some good ones here. Who's got the next one for me that wants to take a look? Who wants to do the next subject? Because we're on a roll here, guys.
If
My
nobody
subject is,
speaks,
no,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead, Vicky. You're good.
No, I've done one already. I just was going to speak up because nobody else was, but go on.
Okay, so I'm a lender, so I'm always about rates. Let's talk about rates. Find out what we can say about rates.
Hey. Do you use this one, Larry?
No. I follow the same method you do with the TikTok. Like I basically just try to see what works and just copy what they do because TikTok actually rewards that, copying other people's content and using the same sounds and such.
Yep. Okay, it's making me make a free profile because I've done this too much. So bear with me here, guys. I agree. I know I'm agreeing too, but you know, I like to live on the wild side. And register. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Being funny. We will head over to Microsoft. All right, rates. Analyzing. So what's important here too, guys, is this isn't just about coming up with ideas. This is actually what people care about, which is what I want you to pay attention to. Okay, let's see here. Can rates be backdated? Can rates be? What's that, Rakshana?
I said maybe you have to write interest rates, not only
Interest.
rates.
You want me to put in interest rates? I can. Yeah, we can take a look at that. There are some good ones here, like what rates is the Fed raising? What rates do the Fed control? What rates are dividends taxed at? How rates are calculated?
Yeah, around 1 to 2 o'clock, you got rates can be negative.
Yeah.
Can rate of exchange. What is this? Can I lock a rate with multiple lenders? I mean, those
Yeah.
are pretty good topics.
Yeah. Why rates go up? Why rates are rising? Like, obviously, Larry, you're like, I know exactly why they're rising. Why are people asking that? But they are. They are. People are coming in here. And remember what I said here, guys, like from green, strong green down to light is how many more people are asking this versus down here. When rates go up, when rates rise, what happens to bonds? When rates go down, when rates will go down. Yeah, this is good. Let's see here. What rates does the Fed control? I think we mentioned that one already, but some solid ones here. So this is a really, really cool tool. Let's see, we got some comments here. Mira says, what to know about first time buyer? Yeah, we can check that one next. And so it's just built on Google search then that people enter. Correct. Yeah, it's all built on Google search. So it takes into account all of those different queries that it receives. So I think we'll just put in first time home buyer. Okay, first time home buyer programs, first time home buyer grants. Where to get first time home buyer loan, first time home buyer programs. What's a first time home buyer loan? Who qualifies for first time home buyer? That would be a good one to answer because like sometimes, you know, people get a little bit confused, like married, not married, making some clarification on that. What are the first time home buyer benefits? A lot of people don't quite understand that as well. And I'm just paying attention here, guys. Like I'm kind of skipping over the light green ones just because I do want to go after ones that people are searching for most. Can first time home buyers rent houses? Oh, there you go. Can first time buyers have a co-signer? This is solid. This is some solid stuff. So very cool tool that I wanted to give you guys today.
Yeah, what I would do, what I would do in this situation for me, like, you know how I told you before, I do YouTube streams and I do like a Q&A, and I would chop that one video up into like 10 different videos, whatever, right? I would probably do one video and answer like all those questions and make one big long YouTube video and then cut those up and turn them into shorts or reels for TikTok.
That's a great idea. Love that.
Yeah, something else that I've so I'm trying to multitask here because I got so much going on today. But one really cool thing that I saw, you know who Levi is, right? From the Real Agents.
Yep.
So one of the things that he does to they create a ton of content. Like he probably creates, I think they're posting 5 pieces of content a day right now. It's just unreal how much content they're posting. And their entire strategy, the reason why they've been so successful is because they've been posting so much content. They're just dominated over everybody else, and they're posting on every single platform. So I talked to him and I'm like, how do you come up with all this content? Like, how are you possibly creating not only a YouTube video every single day that they post on their channel almost every day, but they're another 5 to 6 pieces of content every day. So one of the things that he does, which I started doing, and that anybody could do this, is whenever he's on a phone call, he sets up his phone, or he has a secondary phone, and that phone is constantly recording all the time. So every single phone call that he has, once the call is done, he takes the recording, he uploads it to his Google Drive, and then his editor grabs the content and splits it up into a bunch of content. So on these phone calls, guess what he's doing? He's answering questions and giving and providing, you know, whatever solution that person's looking for. And so that becomes a piece of content. So if anybody's interested in seeing how he does this, and it actually looks like a really cool piece of content. It looks like he's being interviewed or whatever, but you can clearly see he's on a phone call.
What's his name?
Who? Levi from the Real Agents. Levi.
Our Levi? Our Levi?
Our Levi, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see if I can find a piece here, and I'll post. See if he's got him in his YouTube channel. But anyways, just a really easy way of creating content.
All right. The next one here is Quora. So Quora has been around for a long time, and should start to spark. So it's more of like what people are coming in here. And asking questions, and then the community comes in here and posts. So if we look at, like say retiring, there's all different kinds of threads that'll come in here that you can start to get some ideas from. But basically,
that link too? Can you post that link too? Thanks.
Yeah. So looking at like, you know, what are people asking about like my subject line? You know, who's answering it? What are people saying when they answer that? And are they referring to other places that you can go and look at for that? And then of course, asking your own questions. You can also start your own threads in here. So sometimes you can get a little bit lost and check things out. But if we, am I sharing my screen? There we go. What's another, real estate, let's see if real estate through NFTs. See if anything came through on that. What sorts of stuff would you like to sell through NFTs? Is buying a condominium as good as an investment as buying a house? It starts to get a little bit wonky, but you see the point. You come in here, type in a subject, and it'll start to invoke some other ideas for you. And then again, this is taking you down a road of not just what you think should be posting, but what are other people commenting on? What are they creating threads on? So that you can get into more of your avatar's head and understand them just that little much better. And then this one's new to me. I was just introduced this one. I'm taking a course with this guy named Instacoach Mike. I love his stuff. He's so good. And he just introduced this one to me, exploding topics. So this again is a little bit kind of like the answer the public, but we can come in here and we can do, let's just say millennials. And then other related topics can come up as you're typing this in, but it's supposed to give you like the search amount of what's coming through. So I haven't had as much time using this platform because it was just introduced to me, but I, of course, you guys know I spend an ungodly amount of money on digital marketing courses. So I'm going to pass that knowledge back on to you guys. And that's my ideas that I have for cutting the course here. Oh, we've got an example here from Levi. So let's pull that open. Can you hear the sound? No, okay. We reshare with sound.
Person. But I also realized that being a people person for me wasn't scalable. It wasn't scalable at all. If you want to do it, go for it. Was it easy for me in the beginning? Not really. I've never really.
Today's guest.
He's got a ton of those.
As soon as I walked into the restaurant, I'd take a picture, I put it on wide angle, take a picture, I sit down. And then whenever everyone gets their meal now, I'm like, okay, let me take a picture of your meal and your meal. And everyone's like going, all right, weirdo. I'm just going, no, man. And what I do is I go on there, I review the restaurant, leave a review, and then you post your pictures on there. I just started that in January, or you saw that Fuzzy's picture was from December. I've gotten a combination of over 2 million views. So within 8 months, 7 months, as soon as I walk into a restaurant, I'd take a picture, I put it on wide angle, take a picture, I sit down.
Cool. Yeah, so I would definitely say you guys go check that out. So it looks like he's got a proper tripod camera set up that's just constantly recording, and then a really good.
Yeah, he uses 2 phones, and they're like, now that like you know, obviously they've grown quite a bit. Like he's got a videographer now, he's got full-time editors. Like it's a little crazy, but it's not hard to do, because I ended up starting to do this like with, you know, every once in a while, if I have like a coaching call or somebody's got questions about, you know, their marketing or anything like that, I'll just I'll be on Zoom and I'll have my phone set up on the side, and then I'll just hit record on the phone.
Yeah.
And then it creates some nice content.
Yeah, it's pretty ingenious, actually. I mean, you know, I thought about recording conversations, you know, with the clients, whatever, but I was like, that's kind of maybe non-compliant, right? I don't want to, you know, share anyone private information, but you always cut out, you know, the parts where they're talking, and just, you know, keep in the parts the parts where you're answering the question, and no one needs to know who's on that phone, you know? So it's
Exactly.
pretty genius because you're already working anyways. You might as well create content where you're working. I always talked about that. I need like have my 10-year-old kid just to have a phone around me all the time and just record everything and just upload and let someone else go through it. You know, I think that would be the smartest way to do it. But that's actually pretty smart as well. That's almost like the tripod's the 10-year-old, you know.
Well, so here's a really interesting thing about Levi. And so because I had time last year to like we hung out a little bit. And one of the things I kind of noticed was every time I was asking him a question, and again, he would like when I was with him, his videographer was there, like they were there hanging out with us, we were having drinks and all that. And the videographer was always there. So as I'm asking him questions, one of the things I started noticing was the way he was answering. He always answered in 60 seconds. I'm like, what do you think? And so, but like I noticed, but I didn't really notice. It's only when he actually told me, he's like, you know, he told us about the strategy, and he makes a point of answering everything that anytime he's answering a question, he makes a point of answering it in 60 seconds or less, so that they can actually cut out that clip and use it for shorts and reels and whatever else he's using it for. So he's gotten really, really good at answering questions in that small time period, but he's very aware of it. Yeah.
So smart.
And this is how
they
they can create so many pieces of content.
I just, my husband is now becoming our content manager for the multiple brands that I have now. So we've made that upgrade for him. So I'm excited to have somebody around to do more. But yeah, utilizing that, I think that's such a great tip. Ruxana, I want to make sure is it Ruxana? Because I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly because I don't want to be rude. Is it Ruxana? Am I saying that right? I'm going to take that as a yes. She is asking any good accounts to follow on TikTok and Insta for realtors. So I'll show you guys. And a lot of you guys have taken this class with me. I've taught this webinar to you guys before. This is my TikTok webinar. And in this webinar, I give out all kinds of really cool examples of people for you to check out. So let me go back here. All right. So of course, you know Christian Mortuzo. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Definitely want to check him out. Mike Corbett's another one of our clients. He closed like 45 deals last year. He does stuff with Reels, so very similar to EXP. So if you're into like agent attraction, he does a pretty good job of that. Carrie Eschel, I would go check her out. She's got a ton of business and wasn't in the business that long. Same thing with Noah Ward. He absolutely crushes it on TikTok. I always like to mention Ryan Serhant because I think he's really good at branding. But his team's like so behind the curve on TikTok. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's like he's just so big now that it has to go through this stringent process. But I notice like the trends and things that they push are always behind. Glenda Baker is one of my most favorite people on TikTok when it comes to realtor marketing. She does no dancing, no singing, no nothing of the sort. She just is a really, really good storyteller. And then I was like mentioning Mendy Cronquist. She's really funny, obviously like a drama nerd back in the day. She has done quite well. And then I was using this one as an example because like her account blew up just because of like this one video that she posted one day about a fight that she got into with her neighbor. But the reason why I always bring her up as an example is like more to point towards of this woman does not do hair and makeup to show up on video. She just shows up as her true self. And she grew quite a large following on TikTok. She's not my client, so I don't know how many leads and things and what it's done for her business. But the point of this is like, you don't have to be this like glamour model to get on TikTok and be on video all the time. So those are some good accounts that I would go and see. And then all those guys are all pretty active on their Instagrams as well to go and check out. So that would be my recommendation. Cool. Who's gonna make some content today with some of what was your favorite? What was your favorite website out of them all today? What was your favorite resource?
The one on the wheel.
The Answer the Public?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's helpful because like you actually see what people care about.
Yeah, I'm doing
Right.
my guide, the downloadable guide on downsizing. And a lot of the points that you read out on that wheel are in my guide. So that's all good.
Great. So that should all become individual TikToks there for you, Vicki.
Yep. I actually wrote a book on downsizing, how to sell your home, best options in a divorce. And
Nice.
2/3 of the book is all pretty basic. So I've got chapter and paragraph upon paragraph upon paragraph of content that I can use. So I'm going to do that.
Cool. Awesome. You could do like a series, right? You could do like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah,
thing
I
as
got
well,
the I got the 3Ds of downsizing. I've got 3 stages of downsizing. I've got tons of information already spent.
Love it.
So
Love it. That's awesome. Great to hear. Tom says learning TikTok search. Yeah, that's a feature that I use all the time, especially when you're trying to understand TikTok and understand like what content performs, and what performs on TikTok, we know also performs on your Instagram. So specifically for short form content, it's the king of bringing some ideas to you, seeing what works, what do they put in the background, again, like what kind of captions that they're using, and just really paying attention and just playing around with that feature. So all the different avatars, all the different subjects, pop them in there. Look at a 3-month view and look at most liked videos, because that'll give you a good indicator of what people actually care about. Cool.
So my favorite is, of course, just hearing about all the different websites, right? That's a really cool service. But I use TikTok anyways, like I said, to kind of see what content, because I'm looking at TikTok. Also, if you plan to ever do YouTube, YouTube allows you to download, or not YouTube, but there's like other add-ons like plugins like TubeBuddy. If you ever do YouTube, you plug in YouTubeBuddy, it'll tell you the analytics and the keywords that each channel is using, which is kind of cool. And it's real hard to explain. You just got to do it and you'll see it. And then also if you're doing Google, keywords everywhere. That's a cool little add-on as well. And I think it's free in the beginning, but keywords everywhere will actually tell you how much a word is searched. So if you search a question, whatever, it'll actually tell you how much is searched, how popular it was, when it was most popular, and what words are related to that. So like if you want to make a YouTube video, you can see keywords that are matching the question you asked and maybe use it as titles, because YouTubes are all about titles, right? So those are just a few suggestions, I guess, if you're going to do YouTube and Google type stuff. But yeah, I mean, anything where you can get intel like this is, yeah, see, she's using it right there. Look right there, see keywords. I mean, look how amazing that is. It tells you every single keyword that's matching. And you can click it and it'll actually give you some analytics on that keyword in particular. So it's almost like reading behind the lines or seeing the backstage of every person's websites and such. So, and you can actually see, if you look at the website, it actually tells you next to the website how many times it gets searched, or how important the keyword score is, whatever. So yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Cool. Next week, I was thinking of not so much social media, kinda, but just giving you guys a little bit of an intel on Google My Business. There is some posting associated with that, but do you think, Shane, would that be valuable for the group to?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we just, we've been doing a little bit more Google My Business. And I think there's a little bit of confusion around the right way of doing it versus the wrong way. So yeah, I definitely think that'd be a good one to cover. Except next week we're all gone.
That's right.
So we're so next week no coaching calls, no call on Tuesday, no call on Thursday. The entire team's away. I'll be away, and so we'll be back the week after, and I believe that is the Tuesday, both the Tuesday and the Thursday the week after. So the 18th and the 20th.
Okay, so if you guys want to come back and see me on the 20th, I'm going to teach you a thing or two about Google My Business. We've had clients say that it's some of the best leads that they've ever gotten off the internet from their GMB. So I'll give you kind of a thing or two on kind of what to do, what not to do. That'd be fun.
Yeah, and I've got some like cool templates for like, well, unless you have some care about like cool templates for like getting reviews and what to like what we do, and so I'm happy to share some of that as well.
Bring them. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
So it's like I'm happy to share them. But you know, sometimes like there's so many, like it can be so overwhelming because there's all these platforms, right? And it's just like a lot of people just don't have the time to go out and search for this stuff. So, you know, the nice thing is we can bring you those to this call, and you can start implementing them a little bit easier into your business.
Yeah. Yeah. My goal of the call would be like a one-time setup kind of thing for you. Like some at least things that you should have optimized on your Google My Business, like really to get a Google My Business location to rank. There's stuff that has to be done every single month, but my goal for you would to at least have something cleaned up, because sometimes you're in cities where nobody does it, and it's actually really easy to get to the very top. So
yeah. All right. Well, good stuff. Well, everybody, thank you so much for jumping on today. We'll be back on the 20th. Kara, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for all your knowledge, all your help. Really appreciate it.
Some
to all the
deals.
Canadians.
What's that?
Oh my God. When's Thanksgiving?
Monday.
I'm a terrible Canadian living in Colombia. I must go find, where am I going to find a turkey, Vicky? Thanks.
I don't know, in the street.
In the street. They don't run around loose there.
Somebody's backyard.
It's Canadian Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Do I get to
it's
take the day
amazing.
off?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've been at EXP now for a year.
Oh, is that what it was? Like on Thanksgiving? Oh,
Well, I joined October of last year, so
nice. Good stuff. Well, I hope you're liking it.
it's changed my whole life.
Awesome.
Yeah. I sent Larry. I sent a private message to you. Did you get it?
Yes, and I sent you a reply back, but I went and emailed you just to make sure you got it. So it's in your inbox.
Okay, thank you. All right, awesome.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Yeah, there was actually a turkey running around in my neighborhood. I have it on TikTok. It's one of my most. It's one of my most. Yeah, it's one of my most viewed TikToks.
A wild one? Like a wild
one,
turkey, right?
Yes,
They
jumping
don't
on
take-
people's cars and stuff. It's pretty scary.
My son
So I
is a hunter, and I have to tell you, the wild turkeys don't taste anything like the butterball turkeys. They are amazing. Yeah.
So here's a funny story about Thanksgiving and turkeys. Really, really quickly. My parents live on a farm. They have about 100 acres out in Quebec. And the whole family's over, and we're having turkey, the giant turkey right in the middle of the table, We're all in it. They're digging into it, eating it. And sure enough, we got a family of turkeys, wild turkeys, walking right across the yard as we're digging into this turkey. And anyways, it was just kind of a funny little thing. And like, I think most of us felt pretty bad about what we were doing. These little baby turkeys running around.
They were all laughing at you.
I don't think they were laughing. They should have been running away.
That's funny.
There is a turkey hunt season, you know, you have to do it in the season, and you can only
My
kill.
parents would not allow us to hunt their turkeys. There's no way.
And you can only
Absolutely
hunt the males. So there you go.
All right, guys, I got to run.
All right.
Kara, I'm pretty sure busy. Everybody else, thank you so much for popping on, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. And have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and take care.
Good job, Kara.
Bye.
Even though you're under the
Thank
weather,
you.
good job.
Thank you.
Bye.